Welcome to Bada. I'm Chris. So today we have a crazy Variety article that just dropped that talked about the drama on the set of Aquaman 2. A lot of this was revealed through the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, where some documents were revealed. Um, Also, Variety has some sources on the set talking about some very specific instances of drama, including Amber Heard nearly getting cut from the film, some things that happened between her and Jason Momoa. But this will be really about the DC side of things. I feel that has been hashed out, the drama, and there's plenty of YouTubers and YouTube videos that will go in depth about that trial, and I won't. So the title of this article is called Aquaman 2 Flooded with Drama. Jason Momoa allegedly drunk on set, Amber Heard scenes cut, Elon Musk letter to WB, and more. So in that headline, obviously it touches base on all the dramatic things, but we're going to talk about the DC stuff, which is also very dramatic and a small part of this article, but I think it's really important when it comes to the future of the DCU, where it stands, and how they cannot wait to put all of this behind them and close the book on the DCEU. So I'm going through this article. Like I said, if you want some of those salacious details and kind of go in depth with a bunch of the other stuff, please go ahead and read it. It's insane. And if you like that stuff, there's plenty of drama and weird stories that go on. So this is the part where it kind of goes into the DC side of things. It reads, the drama is being rehashed at a time when DC Entertainment toppers James Gunn and Peter Safran are poised to close the book on the previous regime's superhero slate with the December 20 release of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Since Warner Brothers chiefs Pam Amdy, and Mike DeLuca joined the studio in June 2022, followed by Gunn and Safran's entrance 4 months later, the four have been saddled with DC duds they inherited, including this year's The Flash, 271 million worldwide, and Blue Beetle, 128 million worldwide. It sucks that Blue Beetle is a dud because the movie is great. Sadly, it didn't even cross Shazam 2 when it comes to the worldwide box office. We will be seeing more of Blue Beetle, hopefully, in the DCU. And this is an interesting quote. The movie is like this echo of regimes, says one insider. It's a last remnant of the Snyderverse, and no one really wants to take ownership of it, which makes sense. The lack of promotion, obviously, you have a star of the film that may play a different character in the DC universe, which we'll talk about. And you also have someone, Amber Heard, whose role was greatly reduced and obviously has the baggage of this case kind of hanging over the movie. It's clear that that role was reduced for a reason. So it's a weird movie where they can't really promote it. One, because of the SAG-AFTRA strikes, and also the fact that it played out in court due to that trial. And even the head of DC at the time, Walter Hamada, had to stand and talk about some things, including why they almost cut her from the film. Which sucks because I liked the first film. I did like the Aquaman and Mira relationship. And I am excited to see Aquaman too. In terms of the Jason Momoa things, this is an interesting piece where it talks about the fact that Momoa may return as Lobo in the new DC universe. This has been rumored before. There were some people connecting that, but now we kind of have some firm confirmation that he has been in talks to play Lobo in this new DC universe. In fact, none of the stars cast by Zack Snyder for 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and 2017's Justice League, including Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, and Momoa, will reprise their roles in the new DC universe in character. Momoa may return, just not as Aquaman. Sources say the actor has engaged in talks to play Lobo, either in the 2025 reboot Superman Legacy, written and directed by Gunn, or in a standalone film. So yeah, there you have it. Momoa may be Lobo, and we might see an announcement if the SAG-AFTRA strike ends soon. Hopefully to get some good press around this film and Momoa after this bombshell article. Another interesting aspect is the fact that Warner Brothers might be sold again, which makes sense because Zaslav runs it like rent is due every week with cutting projects, cutting budgets. And the fact there seems to be no real direction at the studio at large. DC seems to be writing the ship, but the film aspect, you're kind of like, what's the strategy? Or is it still a home for filmmakers? Is it something where, hey, run by a studio that really is all about making cuts? So here you have, regardless, some of the lot are convinced that another company, most likely Universal, will buy Warner Brothers within 2 years, making recent DC subplots and upheavals feel quaint. Which is true. That'd be the third time the company has been bought, merged in 5 years, which is insane. And it's part of the reason DC has never been able to get a solid footing under it. You've had different regimes. When you have, if anyone's a sports fan, when they fire the GM, the coach is likely next, because you kind of want synergy between that. So if Warner Brothers is acquired, who knows if Gunn and Safran will stay on as heads of DC. I know Zaslav has given them assurances, but the reality is, if it's bought, there's really nothing he can keep. The one good thing about Universal potentially buying Warner Brothers is the fact that they have the parks division that could really use those characters. If you've ever been to Universal, especially in Orlando, they have that Marvel Land in Island of Adventure, which is really dated and filled with 90s versions of the characters because of old licensing deals with Marvel. So, they could get rid of that and use some DC characters. But yeah, this is pretty insane. Like I said, if you want some of those salacious details, read the article. Some To kind of recap what we talked about, you have Jason Momoa playing Lobo. You have Warner Brothers potentially being bought by Universal. Um, those are two big pieces I feel that are really small in this article, because obviously, the reason they put this together is because of the other drama, to kind of get that there. It's like it's something that no one could quite close the book on. I think that that trial obviously um, brought a lot of attention to certain things, and it seems like no one could get enough of it. And with this movie coming out, things are kind of coming back out about that trial. So it's the trial that keeps on giving. But what do you guys think? Do you think Jason Momoa will be a great Lobo? And what do you think of DC and Warner Brothers potentially being sold again? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, bada boom.